You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
I usually say yes to everybody. That's what Dave's trying to stop me doing. So I'll just say no, I won't do it because I've given this away, really. I mean, this information is, if you knew the time that went into it, you'd wonder why I do give it away. You might think $100 is a lot. It's not in terms of what you're getting. Eventually we'll have some sort of, hopefully, a forum thing on the site somewhere, maybe. I'm not guaranteeing it. I talk to a few clients myself now through Skype and help them out like that. But, you know, I'm not going to write it on there because I'm just doing it too cheap. I've got no time. But
you're a pro punter, not a typer, so you spend a lot of your time typing and doing computer stuff. So, unfortunately, you know, for some of the subscribers, we will leave it as is. And another question has been whether you, and this is related to the Blackbookers again, whether you use or employ a price value as a low point for their common sense. So when the Blackbookers go out, do they have any price component as part of it?
No.
That's the difference between the Blackbookers and the ratings. I mean, the Blackbookers have shown their horses to follow and they meet your criteria, but the ratings are where you analyse every runner in the race and price them accordingly.
Yeah, not much more I can add to that.
Okay. Phil's asked if there's a list on the site of the Blackbookers, and I mean I can answer part of that. Again, we've tried to keep it pretty simple. We don't want to send out all of the additions, deletions, the ones on the chopping block, and then people have to track them themselves through, you know, online or SMS services. So basically, any time there's a runner, we'll send you an email the night before. There's plenty of notice, whether there's one runner or 10 like there were on the weekend. We'll send an email out. So it's meant to be a very simple, easy to follow service.
But Phil, it is Phil, isn't it, Dave, that we're talking to here?
Yep.
Phil, in answer to your question, it used to be on there. That's where we had thousands of freeloaders taking them, which is making me feel ill. But the new site we have, I've spoken about this, and we're trying to have some sort of login key that you can have. So if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to log in and see all the information just like you used to see it. I'll put the price next to it when it wins and the date it won, etc. We will get to there. We're just going through a real busy time at the moment with some computer stuff and designing websites, etc. But mate, I promise you that'll happen. Guarantee you. So you'll have it. It'll all be there, and one day you won't have to worry too much about a lot of things. It'll be a lot vastly improved. Let me say.
Okay. It's probably about 10 questions left. We'll see if we can do it in 10 minutes. Can you make a living from betting your stuff?
Well, I make a substantial living, but it's you got to work hard. So put it this way: anyone that started last year with a $10,000 bank ended up the year with 28 or something, and I expect the bank to increase about 300% in any given year. That's you got to allow for the fact that you're going to make some mistakes, but that's already been basically taken into account by the fact that the prices we recorded pretty much average prices, not the top prices. Do I want you to leave your job? No, because you won't have the discipline that I've got to do it. A few people have. Will you be successful doing it? Guarantee you will. The runs are on the board. I mean, it's all there for you to see. That's the beauty of what I do. Is that no one can say, oh, that's not true, because it's all there. Okay. Every day.
The question is, how important are factors like the type of track and jockey in your criteria?
Oh, heaps. Massively. See, the hardest thing about framing markets is that markets in roulette stuff are true markets. Okay, markets in horse racing aren't exactly true because I had to go through a lot of stuff over a lot of years and work out how much weighting to give certain factors. So in other words, you don't give, if you're dispersing points in increments of 10 for the track, 10 for this, 10 for the jockey, and so on, you know, you just come up with rubbish. So you've got to, apart from all the background stuff I do, when you're distributing your incremental add-ons and deductions, then they have to be in proportion to how they affect. So if I break it down into English, I'll take one of the most important factors, the track condition is paramount. And it makes or breaks most horses. So over the years I've had to tweak that the weighting on that factor up and decrease the weighting on some of the areas down. The other thing is I'm constantly going up and down with jockeys. I do my stats different. I've been through all that before. I won't go through it again, but some jockeys are in good form, some jockeys are out of form, so I've got to tweak that rating a bit. So in answer to your question, it's hugely important, but you've got to get a whole bundle of things right to do it properly and keep records.
Okay. A quick one and a common one. How do you get your sectional times?
Light sports colour, sportscolour.com.au. I buy a lot of stuff too. Sports colours, I rang 2KY the other day and asked Greg Bradley to look into it for me. They've stopped doing the STC. A while back they stopped doing the Victorian meetings. So if you need the Victorian stuff, you've now got to go into TV, and it's all getting a bit grubby. But I wrote a submission the other day to the AJC, who'll pass it on to the minister or something, I'm sure, just to say, well, how do you expect people to turn over lots of money when you've got areas shutting down where you don't provide us with information? I'll get something back soon. I'll let you know on the next webinar or the one after, whenever it arrives.
Okay. Des has asked how long you've been involved in racing and your background prior to going full-time. Just quickly, Ed, if you can.
Background financial planning. Started into racing through greyhounds through a guy called Robert Hill, who heads Alpha Lark, the odds broker. He owns Sure Pick Greyhound Ratings. He taught me how to do a lot of things over a long period of time. I've worked for bookmakers, etc. I'm pretty mad on maths and full-time punting for 9 years, so there's plenty of background there.
Yep. Had a question about the seminars, and that's something we're definitely doing later in the year. Right now our focus is obviously the winners, but also a new website in maybe a month or so. And then towards Spring Carnival time, we're aiming for some pretty good stuff, some golf days, race days, as I said, seminars. There's going to be a heap of things going on. As always, it'll be in the newsletter for any updates.
Beer girls, don't forget the beer girls.
Yes, I was going to mention that. John's asked, regarding the Blackbookers, I think, you've got a number of provincial class horses at provincial tracks. Does the quality of the jockey at provincial meetings have a bearing on your assessments? Actually, it probably varies. Probably applies to the ratings as well as Blackbookers. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I answered that in the previous thing. In every time it does. Well, always constantly rating jockeys and weight. It's a small part. Well, not too small, but a smallish part. But hugely important. There's certain jockeys. Put it this way, I don't rate every race, as you've probably seen. I rate them all, and then I go through and I look at races and go, like, I got this on top. Let's have a look. I try and find reasons not why they should win. I try and find reasons why they can't win. I say, okay, there's certain jockeys, I won't name them, but I'll just draw a line through them and say, well, I'm not going to do that race. I just don't have any confidence in that jockey. And then there's other reasons. I'll get to another race where I've got a couple on top, and I realise they're both going to be well back in the field. That race is out, and so on and so forth. And that's how you, in general, if you can all do your form like that and sort of look at things and don't say, well, why can it win? You sort of start the other way and work your way back. Let's rule out the ones that really can't win, and you're left with a small group, and then you start looking for your on paces and good jockeys and stuff like that. But mine's more of a mathematical and hard work equation than that. But that, in simple terms, that's a good way to do it.
Yep. Dan's asked two-part question. One, do you exclude aged horses? And two, do you rate the Don Scott way with bonus and penalties in kilos?
Yeah, pretty much I do it in kilos, yeah, of course. And aged horses, definitely, yeah, 100%. I'm not really interested in backing a horse once they go past 6. I break all rules occasionally, but and that depends on whether they're obviously